Theme song. If you listen to this podcast and don't share with a friend, that's a technical foul. If you listen to the podcast but don't stay till the end, that's a technical foul.
Hello and welcome to episode 13 of Our Dads Are Brothers, a TV and movie review podcast. I'm Nathan Tracy along with my co-host.
I'm Bat Tracy. In today's episode, it's Adam Sandler Part 2. Part 2? From 2000 to 2009.
Two.
Part 2. Because we did Hot Shots Part 2 that one time, remember?
Yes,
It's
we
all
did.
back.
Yeah. This is the sequel episode.
Yeah.
But it's not the sequel episode.
We've had
All
two.
right. Adam Sandler, Part 2. What years is this one?
2000, 2009.
Very cool. I'm excited.
As am I. I liked the first episode. We had fun with it. I think this one will be good.
How you been?
Oh, all right. You been watching anything?
Yeah, not really. Just some stuff for this, and that's about it.
Me also the same.
Sorry, a little bit of game shows. I watched some Celebrity Family Feud and some singing shows.
What was
but
the
not like
best celebrity family feud?
the best Celebrity Family Feud that I just saw. I think it was Salt and Peppa versus the cast from Bel Air, that new show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who won? Was it Salt and Peppa?
Yes.
Nice.
Also, Kid and Play were there, and Dougie Fresh.
Kid and
That was-
Play.
That was the
I
crew. It was
Need
cool.
to see their movie Class Act. I really want to see it. Pauly Shore had a small cameo or role in it. I don't know, but
Does it have to do with school? Like, is that what it's called,
so.
Class Act?
I think
Well,
so.
if so, we'll do an episode with Rodney Dangerfield's going back to school, Class Act, that Snoop Dogg movie about high school.
Mac and Devin go to high school?
Yeah, so we'll do like a school episode.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Only if the fans say they want it. Otherwise, forget
We could
that
do it at the
idea.
beginning of September for back to school.
Back to school.
Nice. Well, I've really only been watching the Tour de France every day pretty much. It's like 6 hours long. So yeah, I watched that a lot. And then I've been watching
Nice.
movies for this. I've been watching Corner Gas Animated and George Lopez occasionally.
Awesome.
I can't think of anything else.
That's okay. You didn't write it down in your handy dandy notebook?
I did not know.
Well, you want to do birthdays?
Let's jump into birthdays.
Let's do it. All right, today is July 21st. Who do we have for birthdays?
Today's birthdays are Betty Gilpin, David Dalsmalchin, Don Knotts, George Wallace, Jamie Murray, John Lovitz, Josh Hartnett, Justin Bartha. There's a lot of J's today. Robin Williams, Rory Culkin, and Tay Zonde. And it's also Cowboy Bob Orton's birthday.
Very cool. Well, I'm just going to say right now, let's just go for Don Knotts. That's how I'm going to say.
I knew you were going to choose Don Knotts.
Why? Because I have a signed picture from him?
Yeah, that's pretty much why I thought you would.
Yeah, my dad gave me that. He kind of told me to hold on to it, and I still have it. Anyways, Don Knotts pretty cool. I like the Andy Griffith Show. Let's get right into it.
Well, actually, my favorite role of his isn't the Andy Griffith Show.
Well, I'm not saying it's my favorite role. I just like that show.
Oh, okay.
Don Knotts was born in 1924 and died February 24th in 2006 at the age of 81. He was born in Morgantown, West Virginia.
And I think he's best known for No Time for Sergeants, The Incredible Mr. Limpet, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, The Apple Dumpling Gang, Gus, which is about a horse that plays football, Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, The Andy Griffith Show, and Three's Company. My favorite of his roles is No Time for Sergeants. I think that's a very good movie.
I haven't seen it in so long, I don't remember it very well.
Well, it's him and Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie. And Gus, I really like Gus. It's not a good movie, but I really like it.
It's because you like horse movies so much.
Well, it's technically not a horse movie. It's a donkey movie.
You said it's a horse.
Well, it's a
Did you just
donkey
lie to
that
our
it's a
listeners?
mule. It's a mule that plays football.
Well, just like that mule, you're an ass.
That's okay.
I actually have a few fun facts for you. Don Knotts began performing as a ventriloquist in high school, and later when he was in the Army, he toured the Pacific Islands as part of a GI variety show to entertain the troops. But
Oh,
he
okay.
started to hate his ventriloquist dummy. Like right there, I just picture them like literally yelling at each other and fighting. Like I hope
You
that
suck.
they're
No, you suck.
exactly. He actually threw the ventriloquist overboard.
Oh,
So
wow.
so Don Knotts' dummy is in the ocean somewhere.
I bet it got eaten by a shark.
Don Knotts' dummy is poop somewhere. Also from 1955 to 1957, Knotts was in the stage version of No Time for Sergeants, and later reprised his role in the 1958 film. Did you see it?
Oh,
Did you see it when it was on stage version?
I was actually there opening night. I
Nice. Yeah,
paid,
that was only like a little bit after you watched Dumbo next to Walt Disney. Remember that?
yeah, that was exactly,
Yeah,
yeah, it was only like a decade later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn time travel.
I paid only 15 cents for a ticket, front row.
That's expensive. Holy cow.
Well, are we done with Don Knotts?
Yes, I am Don with Don Knotts.
Nice wordplay.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to give out our email quick. It's ourdadsarbrothers at gmail.com. Hit us up. Say hello. Say whatever. Just email us.
And give us a 5-star review on whatever you're listening to this on.
And if you have any extra money in your pocket when you're doing laundry and you find you're like, oh crap, I could give this to the ODAB boys. Okay. You can check out in our bio. There's a little spot for little sponsors or whatever you call it. Thanks in advance.
All right, I think we're ready to jump into the main topic of today, which, if you recall, I said it earlier.
Yeah. It's Rob Schneider, right?
It is not Rob Schneider, you silly goose. It's Adam Sandler, his less successful
Oh,
friend.
yeah. Wait. You think Adam Sandler is less successful?
than Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Not in reality.
Oh, you're just fucking around. Are you really think so?
I do not.
Should we just jump right into it, or do you have anything to say about this decade?
Well, for most of this decade, and by most I mean all of it, I was alive, so I've seen most of these movies
Yeah,
growing up as a child.
that is a good thought. Like, the first one, whether you were alive or not for all the movies coming out, you were, even I was just a little kid. So, like, you'd
Yeah.
have to rewatch those older. Like,
Yeah, I was 5 years old in
like
2000, so
exactly. So, we were about this decade's age when we started watching Waterboy and stuff. So, we got to start watching these as they came out or only a year or two later. So, yeah, these probably ring more like memories sometimes.
yes.
Except for Waterboy and Mr. D. I mean, Waterboy and Happy Gilmore, I've watched like 1,000 times. So those are most predominant in my head, but whatever. Let's do it.
What's first?
First up, from 2000, Little Nicky.
Yeah, this one was directed by Stephen Brill, had a budget of $85 million, and it brought in 58.3 million. So it was a box office bomb. And it has a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 55% audience score.
I think people just weren't ready for it.
I agree. I said this to you before, of all of Adam Sandler's character movies, like the ones where he plays the character that the movie's named after, I think
Yeah.
Little Nicky is the best one.
I love Little Nicky so
It's
much.
very, very good. I really like this movie. I actually watched it again for this episode, even though I've seen it like 100 times. And yeah, I think it's very fun. I like the cast. I like that all his friends get expanded roles in this one because they kind of in the later career they just have smaller cameos, but they're like full blown characters in this one. And like the one guy's even his roommate, so Alan
Yeah.
Covert, I think.
Yes, that is right. I don't think we need to give full synopsis or anything about these, but I will say since it's John Lovett's birthday, the movie starts on John Lovett's. He was playing a pervert, watching a Boy Scout's mother get undressed, and he's just so funny in the tree. He's got like a glass of wine and everything.
He's like, no, I'm a big bird. Caw,
Yeah, he's like,
caw."
I'm a bird. Like, you're not seeing a person.
He's
He,
engaging in voyeurism.
does he straight up have a house phone? Like a
Yeah, it's like a rotary phone.
yeah, like with a cord, like it's hooked. And he calls and he's like, "Put your mommy on the phone." No, he's like, "Why don't you do your mom a favor and go downstairs, let her have some mommy time?"
Yeah, he's very creepy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
Not creepiness is not being cool. He's just funny.
in this movie it has a cameo from Chubbs, who's from, of course, Happy Gilmore.
Yes, you did not have enough hype for that. I mentioned in the last one, I was like, later on, because also Henry Winkler. Like, remember I said
Yes,
there's 2 cameos from previous movies.
it's true. Henry Winkler.
Yeah,
He's a good guy, that Henry Winkler.
there's a lot of crossovers because Don Knotts. Just kidding. Henry Winkler is the Fonz.
And
Don
Rodney
Knotts.
Dangerfield. He's in Little Nicky. It's not a crossover from the birthdays, but just we were talking about back to school earlier, so
There you go.
yeah.
Let's list some of our favorite things from this movie. Okay.
All right.
Hopefully, it doesn't take too long because I can fucking quote the whole thing. But go ahead. Tell me something you liked.
Well, I really like Rhys Ifans as his brother Adrian. I think Rhys Ifans is one of my favorite actors. I just really like the guy. Uh,
Yeah, he loves peppermint schnapps and cold pizza.
yes, he's also in The Replacements. He plays the kicker. I really like his other brother. I can't remember the character's name. It's Adrian and something. I want to say maybe DeMarcus, but that sounds wrong. But anyway, he is Cassius. I was totally wrong. He's played by Tiny Lister, who is Zeus in the movie No Holds Barred.
Nice.
Yeah, I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, they're both good brothers. I really liked Quentin Tarantino's role in this movie. I don't know if everyone knows he's in this, but he's the blind soapbox preacher that runs into a fire hydrant down the subway stairs.
Who's 100% right in everything that he says. Because, like, he can just sense Little Nicky around him, and he's like, oh my God, the soul of the devil is beside me.
He starts,
like,
he starts smelling. He's like, I smell the devil.
Yeah. So that's a very fun cameo. And
yeah.
One thing I would really like to say about this movie is that Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome.
I was about to say the product placement of Popeyes throughout this movie, awesome.
People hate on that line a lot. I see it on Twitter all the time where people are like, oh, it's the worst product placement or whatever. But then in the last year, I've tried Popeye's chicken, and it's the best chicken I've ever had in my life.
It's so good. I just had my wife try it for the first time.
It's fucking awesome.
Loved it. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
I didn't teach her how to eat like like Mr. Beefy did. Put it in your mouth. Now move your mouth up and down. I love the callback to that later when the creatures are holding the rabbits and he's teaching the other creatures how to eat chicken. The rat he bites the ear off and he goes, "Not you, not you." He tries to put the ear back on the rabbit and smiles like, eh. So funny.
I will say one thing that drags Little Nicky down a little bit is I don't like his love interest in the movie. It feels a little forced because it doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the movie.
Yeah, he could have just gone without a love interest.
Exactly.
I get that.
I do really like the basketball scene though, where he traps Cassius in the urn or the flask or whatever he has.
Yeah, with Dana Carvey as the ref.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with Dana Carvey as the ref. Just a wonderful little cameo.
Oh yeah. I will say, even though like you just said, did not need a love interest, I think it was a good one. Like he was just like, what is this feeling? It's like, it's love. It's like, so he played it well. Yeah.
Patricia Arquette, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yes, you were correct.
Was I? Nice.
Yeah, she was in Medium, I think, and various other things.
Okay. I know her mostly as David Arquette's sister. Shall we move on?
I was about to say, anything else about that one?
Oh, yes. Actually, one last thing. Ozzy Osbourne has a cameo. And he bites the head off of a...
And that's where Rob Schneider is.
Yep.
You can do it, Ozzy. Bite his freaking head off. Did they say fucking or frickin'?
I'm pretty sure he says fucking.
I think this movie... Oh, yeah. I forgot that rated... PG-13 gets one F word.
No, PG-13, you can have up to 4 F-bombs, but only in a non-sexual context. So you can't tell someone like, hey, fuck you, because that's a sexual context. But him saying you bite his fucking head off, that's not sexual. So you get up to 4.
I feel like the reason I thought it was 1 is because a lot don't use up to 4. They use 1 or maybe 2. So that's why I thought it was so low.
So just a small correction. You can actually only use the F word 2 times in a PG-13 movie, but only in a non-sexual context. The rule with the 4 is for albums. That's what I was thinking of. Just a small correction.
And did you know that when you spin a Chicago record backwards, it says, spread the blood of the innocent?
Yeah, Chicago is super satanic.
Yes, super satanic. All right, like I said, we could just keep going. There's so much. So let's put this one to bed, and then
tuck it in.
You guys can give us a call and talk about it.
Are we taking
Last,
calls over the podcast now?
yes,
That would
call
kill
in.
me.
No. Also, last thing. Great soundtrack. I had the soundtrack.
It does have a really good soundtrack.
Yes.
All right, tell me what's next.
Actually, guys, since I said last thing, don't tell Beth that I'm saying this. This Little Nicky was released on Halloween. I think that's cool.
Were you saying something?
The next movie is 2001, The Animal.
The Animal from 2001. This is directed by Luke Greenfield on a budget of $47 million, and it grossed $84.7 million. This one has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 28% audience score.
I think this is a good Rob Schneider movie.
I agree. This is of Rob Schneider's solo movies. I think this is his best one, but we're not here to talk about Rob Schneider.
No.
We're here to talk about Adam Sandler's cameo, and this is a fun one, I think, because he plays the role of the townie, which Rob Schneider played in The Water Boy, and so they both played this role in each other's films.
Yeah, I mean, Rob Schneider just played that same role in Little Nicky just a movie ago.
That's true.
Yelling at Ozzy.
Yeah. He literally just said that. Yeah.
Literally one liner, right? That's all he says.
Just one line.
Yeah, it was a good line. Maybe his best performance ever, honestly.
Adam Sandler's best role?
Yeah, I'm fucking kidding.
Okay, well.
Do you have anything else to say about The Animal?
I actually don't have anything else to say about The Animal.
Wait, doesn't your brother, though?
Yeah, my brother has this goofy idea for this movie. I'll just get him to tell you about it.
Okay.
Hey guys, Lex Dahl here, and I have vowed to watch The Animal every day for a year, starting on January 1st, 2023.
It sounds like too much animal for me.
83 minutes a day, 365 days a year. I got this.
That's crazy. I don't know why you're doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. So what's your rating on Adam Sandler's role in The Animal?
Well, as a whole, and for his part, I'm giving it both 4 stars. I think it's a very fun movie. Not enough to watch it every day for a year, but
Yeah.
It's very fun, and I like Adam Sandler's cameo in it because it's kind of unexpected if it's your first time watch.
I agree, and that's why I'd give his part a 4-star for sure. Now, if he were to keep doing this in other movies, I'd be like, towards the next movie's rating. Same with the overall movie. I really like the movie, but not enough to give it 5 stars. And
Exactly.
To be honest, I'm just going to say this. I know this is the Adam Sandler episode. Norm Macdonald's role in the mob is my favorite scene from the whole movie, and I've YouTubed that tons of times. You should YouTube it.
I really like that. Well, from 2002, he was in Punch Drunk Love. This one's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson on a budget of $25 million, and it only grossed $24.7 million, so it took a little bit of a loss. This one has a 79% critic score and a 77% audience score. I had never seen this before I watched it for this episode. I thought it was very fun and just a good movie. It has some weird transitions in it where it's just ambient music and weird visuals going across the screen. It's kind of strange, but the whole premise of this movie is because Paul Thomas Anderson is known for directing 3-hour long movies that are just really weird and dramatic and stuff. So he came up with the idea that he's like, I want to direct a straight up comedy that's 90 minutes long. And everyone was like, you're crazy. And he's like, I'm going to cast Adam Sandler. And so he did, and it's a pretty good movie, if not a little weird in tone.
Yeah, I've never seen it. You said there was lots of whispering. Is that true?
Yeah, it's very quiet of a movie. A lot of whispering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
A pretty good movie, though. I would give it 4 stars.
Yeah, I'll have to give it 0 stars because I've not seen it.
Yeah, as someone who had never seen it before, fresh eyes, I thought it was pretty fun. And I liked his character because the whole movie is Adam Sandler's character has really bad social anxiety, but he's trying to present himself as this really cool agent guy in Hollywood, and his sisters belittle him. They have his whole life and they make fun of him constantly, and he just has he goes into this these rage fits where he's just like, why are you guys making fun of me all the time? Stop it. I thought it was a fun movie.
Nice.
That's pretty much all I have to say about Punch Drunk Love.
All right, let's move on. It's something I just figured myself.
2002 is his most prosperous year.
That's what I was about to say. But because it was easy. Voice acting for one, a small cameo for another.
Yeah, and then just 2 movies.
Yeah.
The only movie he was in 2001 was a cameo, so he would have been filming all this stuff in 2000 to 2001.
Right. Well, he also did, in 2002, there was 2 short films. He was an executive producer, which doesn't take much work, so I've heard. All right, up next, same year, 2002, Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, Mr. Deeds was directed by Stephen Brill, who I believe he worked with. Yeah, he was the director of Little Nicky, and I think he did some stuff in the 90s too. But this one was made on a budget of $50 million, and it grossed $171.3 million. So it's a 22% Rotten Tomatoes score, but a 59% audience score.
When it comes to Adam Sandler, I hate the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Just like, get those out of here. Like, the people rating Rotten Tomatoes don't know how to do anything.
I usually am more in tone with what the audience says for Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, yes.
But anything else, I'm usually more critic score aligned.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. For Adam Sandler, Rotten Tomatoes does not know what they're talking about. Other things, sure. Yeah. I like this movie. It's a fun one. A lot of little funny things. Yeah.
Fun. I actually saw this in theaters at the drive-in movie in 2002. It was this paired with Men in Black 2.
Nice. Which one was first?
I believe Mr. Deeds was first. I used to work with a guy named Logan who would watch this movie every single day. Like, it was the only thing he would watch. And him and his brother would like fall asleep to the menu music of this movie because he watched it so often. Like, it's all he would watch. He could quote the entire thing. And by the way, since I mentioned him, I'll name drop his brother. Dalton, thank you for your contributions to the show.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
So a thing I really like in Mr. Deeds is the dead foot. Like, the part where, well, first off, to start, before we get into the dead foot thing, John Turturro's character in this has a huge foot fetish. It's really weird. But so he's constantly talking about Adam Sandler's dead foot.
Yeah,
he's got this dead foot that's like solid black, and you can hit it with a tire iron. You could blowtorch it. He doesn't feel nothing. He don't give an F about nothing, man.
Yeah. Quickly talking about John Turturro, his role is great. He always asks, "Can I change your socks?"
Yeah. Can I change your socks? Yeah, he's got a weird foot fetish thing.
Yeah, he's very sneaky.
Very sneaky.
He just like disappears and shows up so fast. It's great.
He's like Batman. John Turturro should be in a Batman movie. I really think so.
He could be an Alfred.
He is actually Sal Maroni in the Batman, but
oh, okay.
In a different time and place, he could have been the Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play Sal Maroni, actually. He played Carmine Falcone. I said the wrong name. Sal Maroni's the other crime boss.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Deeds, what's your favorite bit? I really like Winona Ryder in this movie. I think she's very fun.
Yeah. She does a good job. And yeah, it's so funny when she starts describing where she's from, and she's making up so much shit, like the longest fake ass name, and the house, the tire swing, and the blue door, and whatever. And he like finds it to a T.
Yeah, he finds the exact house.
She's just like shocked in the same town. She's like, "Oh shit, I made this shit up."
Yeah, and he's like describing how her father built the house, and the kids are like, "My dad built this house," and he's like, "No, your dad's a liar."
Your dad's a liar, and the kid was like, "What?" Yeah, I like Steve Buscemi in this movie. He plays Crazy Eyes. I mean, it's a very small role. He rides up to deliver him a pizza, and he says something, and Deeds goes, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Deeds. I was talking to that squirrel over there." And then they cut over, and it's a mountain goat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he gets a few different crazy pizzas. One is
he gets Oreos and French fries on it.
Yeah, then I think one has gumballs and something else. I don't remember.
It might be gumballs and sardines or something like that.
Yeah, some crazy pizzas.
Yeah. Crazy pizzas for a guy with crazy eyes. But it's weird how just having crazy eyes makes the guy himself go crazy.
Right.
Maybe there's a correlation.
This is at least the second, because he's somewhat homeless. Like, yeah, he lives in a little shack, but he's the homeless guy in Big Daddy. So it's kind of like he plays two of those roles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how Steve Buscemi, too, is like a world famous actor who's critically lauded. Like, you know, he's Mr. Pink, and he's just a great actor. And then he also does Adam Sandler movies. It's just so funny to me.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I just love it.
So, fastest synopsis ever. Dude finds out he's related to a super rich guy.
Who dies on Mount Everest smiling.
Which then there's a twist later. But anyways, so my point is, all of a sudden now he gets to live the life of the lavish, or however that saying goes. So he gets like a water bubbler in his room that's full of Hawaiian punch. And like he just
a private jet that he can fly anywhere.
He just lives it up, and it's pretty sweet.
He owns a football team out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Jets.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, is when the guy comes storming in and he's swearing and stuff, and Adam Sandler just punches him. He's like, "You don't talk like that in front of women."
It's so great.
And I gotta say, I love the actor who plays Cecil in this movie. We mentioned him previously when we were talking about the Elektra and Daredevil movies. Because the actor who plays Cecil in this is Elektra's dad in Daredevil.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. I really like the bit. It's when they're first flying in the private jet and Deeds puts on that song and they're singing and he gets Cecil to sing and Cecil like busts out in this like high falsetto voice.
Ground control to Major Tom.
That's what it is, yes.
Ding, 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 ding. They all clap. It's great.
I believe that's by Ziggy Stardust, right?
Well, it says it's by David Bowie. I don't know who Ziggy Stardust is.
Ziggy Stardust was his pseudonym he used for a few albums.
Oh, okay.
It's like a character that he created.
Gotcha. Well, then I don't know. Maybe?
Oh, okay. I think that song's maybe on a Ziggy Stardust album, but I'm not sure.
It might be. And to the folks who don't know, that's David Bowie.
Yes. Well, I don't really have much else to say about Mr. Deeds. Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have one last fact. It's more on the fun fact about the movie, not so much Adam Sandler. This film was filmed in New York City around the spring of 2001, and following September 11th, the same year it was being filmed, it was released the next year.
Mhm.
They digitally removed the Twin Towers from the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think a lot of movies were doing that around the same time. Like
Yeah.
Spider-Man was notorious because the original trailer for Spider-Man had Spider-Man catching a helicopter filled with some bank robbers in a giant web between the Twin Towers, and they had to cancel that trailer because of it. Yeah. It's a cool trailer, though. It's a really cool trailer if you ever YouTube it.
Moving on to the next movie.
Also from 2002. It's a big year.
Also, yes. 8 Crazy Nights.
Yeah, this is an animated movie. I believe it's Adam Sandler's first animated movie. It's directed by Seth Kearsley on a budget of $34 million, and this one grossed only $23.8 million. So another pretty significant loss. This one has a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is shockingly low, and only a 49% audience score.
Yeah. And he voices, I believe, 4 voices. Is that correct?
4 different characters, yes. He voices Davy Stone, who's the main character. Then he voices both Whitey and Eleanor. DeVille, I think is maybe their last name. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're the twins, brother and sister that he lives with in the movie. And Whitey sings Technical Foul. And then he also voices a deer. Duvall, that's what it is, not DeVille. DeVille is from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, it's Duvall. Eleanor is the diabetic twin sister.
Yeah.
And Whitey is, of course, 69 years old.
I really like this movie. I think 8 Crazy Nights is really, really fun and it's hilarious. There's a lot of toilet humor in it, but if you get past that, I think it's got some really good jokes, some good songs, and it's got a lot of heart to it. It's got a very heartwarming story at the end. And it's very sad, too. It's a sad movie.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, it's the 8 Crazy Nights of Hanukkah, because
Yes.
Adam Sandler is Jewish. And yeah, he makes a little movie about Hanukkah. It's narrated by Rob Schneider. Fun fact.
If anyone would like to, on my YouTube channel, I actually have done a review of this movie because we do Christmas movies every year, so you can go check that out.
This movie, the whole soundtrack was by Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
He
I'm
had some-
pretty sure he sings every song in the movie.
Yes, he does have other people on it. It's kind of funny. One's credited by Adam Sandler and Whitey. It's like, so Adam Sandler?
Well, if you listen to the song Technical Foul, that's a song sung by Davey, Whitey, and Eleanor. It's crazy to think that it's all Adam Sandler singing the same song in the same tune with 3 different voices. It's
Right.
wild. He's a very talented guy who uses his talent for the lowest kind of humor. But it's okay because it's good. I like him.
Yeah, definitely.
He shows off his talent in roles like Punch Drunk Love or a few we'll get to later. But he's always done that.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because I've seen it once, right about when it came out. Yeah, I just don't have much to say. I do like it, but
Yeah, it is very fun. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I linked to my YouTube. People want to go check that out, but otherwise, I don't have a lot because it's just animated and it's like a Christmas Hanukkah movie, and yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And the nice thing about animated is that it's a lot easier to get people to be willing to participate because it's just like an hour in the booth, depending on how short your bit is.
Yeah.
So like a ton of his friends are in this. Like I know his friends also are in the movies, but like he even got like Kevin Farley to do it. He's the Panda Express panda.
hmm
John Lovitz, like we've spoken about.
Kevin Farley showed up in a lot of his movies towards like right after Chris died. He had a bunch of
Yeah.
cameos in this stuff.
Yeah, and he was in Joe Dirt and a few other things. Tyra Banks was even in this. Did you know that?
I did not. Who does she voice?
She was the Victoria's Secret gown.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And Tom Kenny was the Sharper Image chair.
Yeah, I knew that one.
Dylan and Cole
I'm-
Sprouse were the KB toys.
I'm pretty good at hearing a Tom Kenny voice and going, yeah, that's Tom Kenny. And yeah, the
Sure.
Sprouse twins they played Frankenstein and Big Daddy. So it's cool that they were in this.
Right, definitely. What's your stars for this one?
I give 8 Crazy Nights 4 stars. I really like it. 12% be damned.
I give it 3 out of the fact I haven't seen in a while, so I only remember bits and pieces. I liked Whitey. Like he's a great character.
Whitey's great.
So yeah, I give it 3 stars, but nobody knocked that because I'm sure if I watched it again, I'd change my mind a little bit. All right, next, last one of this year that he acted in. He also did some executive producer work on more movies of this year, so he's a busy guy. But the last one of this year is The Hot Chick.
Yes, this one was directed by Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Not that Tom Brady.
Oh, okay. I sounded a little too excited anyways. But yeah, a different Tom Brady. Yeah, a different Tom Brady. Cool.
Yes, this one I couldn't find what the budget was for this one, but it grossed 54.6 million, so not great, but hopefully they made their money back. I couldn't imagine them spending 50 million to make this movie.
Well, I don't know because I feel like compared to Animal, it's probably like on par with production and stuff. So like, look at Animal's budget.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so who knows? It might have been a flop.
This one has a 21% Rotten Tomatoes and a 59% audience score.
Quickly before we get into Adam Sandler, you said earlier that you think The Animal's Rob Schneider is one of his best standalone roles.
I think it is
the Hot Chick and Animal to me are pretty par for different reasons.
Okay.
But I really like Hot Chick as well.
See, I like The Animal a lot more. I think I've always thought the Hot Chick was kind of dumb.
Oh, it's definitely dumb, but I think it's dumb in the right way.
But I do like that these movies back to back, The Animal and The Hot Chick, is what created the South Park joke of Rob Schneider is the carrot. Rob Schneider is a stapler.
So funny.
Yeah.
So Adam Sandler's role in this one, he's the Mambuza Bongo guy. It's a little cameo. And it's cool that this is the second Rob Schneider standalone movie he's done, and he's flipping the script on Rob Schneider. Earlier, he was the townie, which Rob Schneider does, and now this cameo is a little nod to the same role that Rob Schneider did in SNL. So it's fun.
Yeah, it's the guy who like explains what an item is, and he goes, "You can put your weed in there."
Hey, you could put your weed in there. He like finds the one is like this little village like replica, and he's like, yeah, look at these huts. And he lifts the roof off, and there's a hole, and he goes, you could put your weed in there.
Last weekend, my dad and we were at a garage sale, and we came across this little like jewel case or something, but it was like a wooden box, and I lifted the lid and went, "You can put your weed in there."
It was an oversaid line for a while by friends and family of mine.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
What do you rate this as his cameo?
3.
3 stars? Yeah. I give it 2 because I don't think he does the role as good as Rob Schneider, like the "you can put your weed in there" guy.
Yeah.
But I do like that it's a short scene. He only says it, I think, 2 times. It doesn't go on for 4 minutes like the SNL skit does.
Well, my favorite part about this, I put that up to 3, and I don't know if you remember this part, is so they're in this room, and a little bit about the movie. This chick's like they're in like there's like African goods and whatnot, and she buys these earrings because she likes them. She puts one in, drops one, and then Rob Schneider's character, which is a thief, puts it in. He pierces his own ear to put it in. He's just a crazy thief. But
Wow.
anyways, so she buys these, and she's being told a story by the store owner. And while she's saying this intense story, all of a sudden some bongo drums start, and it's just like intense music. And then she goes, "Would you stop playing those bongos?" And Adam Sandler's like, "Oh, you can hear that?"
Yeah,
It's
I
so
forgot about
funny.
that scene.
So funny. So like that alone puts it at 3 for me for that movie.
Okay, I'll stick with 2. I stand by what I said.
Yeah, good. Yeah, not much to say about this. It's just a little role. It's fun. I liked
Yeah,
it.
if you've seen the SNL skit, you've seen his part in this movie.
The next one, 2003, Anger Management.
This one was directed by Peter Segal on a budget of $75 million, and it grossed $195.7 million. Has a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 60% audience score.
I have not seen this one, I'll tell you.
I do not like this one very much. I've never really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do know he sings I'm So Pretty because he's told to
Yes.
by the therapist, the anger management man, which is
Yes,
Jack Nicholson. And sports, do they go to baseball games?
They go to a baseball
Or
game, yeah, because I'm pretty
basketball?
sure
Okay.
I'm pretty sure his character is a sports writer, I think.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah,
Sure.
I don't really like this one a whole lot. I know this is our
Okay.
grandma's favorite Adam Sandler movie. She loves
Oh,
it.
is it? I did
Yeah.
not know that.
But I don't know. I don't like Jack Nicholson in it very much, and it just the plot is very thin in this one. Like it's just he's on an airplane, and honestly, some really frustrating shit happens to him on the airplane, and he gets a little upset about it. Like I think anyone would, because it's pretty messed up. Because of that, he gets kicked off of the plane, and they're going to arrest him. But the only way to get out of it is he has to agree to go to anger management, where he meets Jack Nicholson, and then Jack Nicholson ends up moving in with him and like trying to steal his girlfriend and all this. It's
You're going full plot when we've not gone full plot.
I'm just explaining it to you. It's dumb.
I don't care. I'm not gonna watch it probably.
Okay.
I'm just saying we haven't gone full plot for any, and you're like, here
Well, we don't have any. We're not going to say any notes for this one.
we go. Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Well, then our only notes. If you want to watch it, go watch it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
You
sure
can leave
there's
that. You can
like I
leave
know
that
there's
in there.
some funny stuff in there, but
Oh, I'm
it's
sure
just-
there is.
It's not one of my favorites. I
Well,
I
let's
give this
just,
one 2 stars. So
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
again, 0 stars for me. Haven't seen it.
yep.
Up next, 2004, 50 First Dates.
Yes, again directed by Peter Segal, and again with a budget of $75 million, and it grossed $198.5 million. So $3 more million than Anger Management, and this one has a 45% Rotten Tomatoes and a 65% audience score.
It's the same across the board.
Pretty
Same
much the
budget,
same.
same box office, same Rotten Tomato score by both parties. Obviously, within give or take a few, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Same guy. That's
I know.
the
It's
same actor. Can you believe it?
I know. It's so weird.
Yeah,
They're like right on par. I think this one's a whole lot better than Anger Management, though. I really like this film.
I like this one a lot.
Rob Schneider has a great role in this one.
Yes, I vaguely remember it.
He's the pool cleaner. He swims
Oh
naked
yes,
with the
yes.
sharks.
Yes.
If people haven't seen it, it's basically Adam Sandler falls in love with Drew Barrymore and they go on dates, but turns out that she has amnesia and forgets everything that happens after that day. So she just always forgets. And Dan Aykroyd is the dad.
Yeah, he brings back his friend Drew Barrymore for another movie.
Actually, Dan Aykroyd is not the dad. Blake Clark is the dad.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd's the physician
Doctor. Yes.
specializing in brain disorders.
Yes.
I will say, as much as I love this movie and I love Adam Sandler's bits and everything, I feel like almost all the side characters and things make it. Like I love Sean, is it Astin?
Sean
Yeah.
Astin, yes.
Yeah,
As the
he's
brother.
the stereo dependent bodybuilding brother.
Yeah.
Like so great.
Rob Schneider, like I mentioned, he's my favorite
Exactly,
side character
yeah.
in this one.
Yeah. So I mean, like just the little things here and there by everyone else really
Mm-hmm.
helps the movie.
I think that helps a lot of Adam Sandler movies. Like most of the time, the thing you like the most isn't necessarily Sandler himself. It's something else that happens in the
True.
movie.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, because Alan Covert in this is 10-second Tom. Hi, I'm Tom. So funny.
That would be awful.
He's
If
like,
that
why-
bad of amnesia.
He's like, yeah, they call him 10-second Tom. And then like 10 seconds go by and he's like, why do you call him 10-second Tom? And he goes, hi, I'm Tom again.
Oh my goodness. How could you live like that?
As Tom, I'm sure it's a great life. It's so exciting. But as somebody who lives with Tom, it would be pretty hard.
Even as Tom, you can't hold down a job. You can't do nothing.
Yeah, but you're having a great time.
You're
mean,
meeting new people all the time.
Yeah, every 10 seconds. I mean, but honestly, the one thing this is a weird thing to think, but like imagine you're like working on a puzzle, or like coloring, and you're
Yeah.
like coloring ahead. Why is this picture not freshly undrawn? Like, I want to draw a picture, so you throw it away and start drawing the head again. Whoa!
Every 10 seconds.
Every 10 seconds,
Whoa.
something's filled in, and you're like, what?
I guess. What would you give as a rating for 50 First Dates?
I give it 4 stars.
I also give this one 4 stars. I think it's very fun.
Yeah, very fun, very good, but there wasn't enough to push it to 5.
Agreed. Shall we move on?
Yes. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? That's from this movie.
Yes.
It's in
a good
the
song.
movie. It's not from this movie. Yes, the next one. Same year, 2004, Spanglish.
Yes, I actually just watched this one today. This one was directed by James L. Brooks on a budget of $80 million, and it grossed $55 million. So this was a box office bomb. Has a 54% Rotten Tomatoes and a 60% audience score.
I have not seen this. I think I tried to watch it once. I don't know why I didn't. Does it start out with him jogging, or does he go jogging often or something?
No, he's actually not even in the beginning of the movie.
Does someone ever jog in it?
Teo Leone does.
I just remember jogging. There was a year where I didn't watch all that many, and this must be it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I just watched Spanglish today for the first time ever, and I loved it. Like, I thought it was incredible. A really great performance from Adam Sandler. It's a very dramatic performance. He's very, very good in this. I really liked it. Taya Leone plays his wife. She's very neurotic. It's fun seeing her in a role where she's not just screaming the entire time, like in Jurassic Park 3. And Vaz Pega, I think is her name, or I think it's Vez Pega. She was a Latina actress who had never spoken English before her life, and she was casted in this movie and had to learn English on set to star in the movie. And yeah, I think their performances together were fantastic, and I thought this was a really good movie. I really liked it.
What did you say her name was?
Vaz Pega, I think. Vaz Pega?
It's Paz Vega. It's the
Ah,
exact
Paz
opposite.
Vega. Okay, I knew I was, as soon as I was saying it, I knew it wasn't right.
I did YouTube just a little bit today to just get a feel for what the movie's about, and the hypocritical scene I
Yeah.
feel like was good acting.
Very good, yes.
Yeah, but hearing that fact about the fact she didn't know any English, I think is a great thing for this
Yeah,
movie. Like,
it worked really well, I think.
it
Once I
helps
learned that, I
because
was like, wow.
yeah, if you can speak English fluently and now you have to like pretend that you have bad English,
Mm-hmm.
but no, she's got bad English, like straight up, like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not, I don't know if she actually does.
It was really fun. I like this movie a lot, and it was more of a dramatic performance, but there was one part where I just laughed out loud at. Like, it's got some really funny stuff in it.
I have a fun fact for you.
Shoot.
Well, I haven't seen this, but I have looked at the Wikipedia page too, and I've got a wiki fact for you.
Okay.
Sarah Hyland was the girl at the sleepover. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention that.
Oh, never mind. My wiki fact is no longer cool.
I didn't notice her at first, but then I was watching the credits and was like, oh, that was her.
Oh, so you credit caught it. You didn't notice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I
my wiki fact is still cool.
Yeah, I saw it in the movie, but then I didn't recognize her.
So you didn't know it.
Yeah, and then I saw in the credits it said Sarah Hyland is a girl at sleepover, and I was like, oh.
You credit caught it. Got it.
Yes.
You didn't catch it.
No.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, during our Spy Kids episode when I talked about Selena Gomez being in the beginning of the third movie, I credit caught that one too. I didn't know it was her. Anything else about this one?
I do not have anything else.
Neither do
It was
I.
very good.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. Maybe I'll watch it one day.
You should, actually.
And the next one, 2005, The Longest Yard.
Yeah, this one was directed by Peter Segal again, which if he wouldn't have done Spanglish, it would have been 3 movies back to back in 3 years, all directed by Peter Segal.
That's neat. Was there any in the last decade?
I believe there was 1 or 2 in the last decade also.
Okay. So he's a good friend director.
Yeah, him and Dennis Dugan, I believe, are his 2 most worked with directors.
Sure.
Stephen Brill, I think, would probably be in third. But this one was made on a budget of $90 million and it grossed $191.5 million. And it has a 31% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 62% audience score, which is crazy, I think. Movie's really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for being a remake. Have you seen the original?
I have seen the original.
Also, a
My
good
brother
movie.
made me watch it.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I do like it. I think this
Good.
one's better, though.
Yeah, I think so.
This is another movie I actually saw at the drive-in.
What was it paired with?
I don't remember what this one was paired with. I was trying to think of it, and I don't know. It would have been
That's
something in
okay.
2005. So
Yeah.
The Longest Yard, quick synopsis. He plays Paul Crewe, who's a former NFL quarterback. And ever since, he got kicked out of NFL for cheating in a game. And ever since then, he's just been been a drunk at his girlfriend's place. And he does some drunk driving. And he gets sent to prison. And then he plays football with the inmates against the prison guards. Chris Rock's there. Burt
so
Reynolds
many.
is there. Nelly Furtado, he's there.
No. Was that a mess up on purpose? Do you know who Nelly Furtado is?
Is Nelly Furtado not Nelly?
Nelly is Nelly. Nelly Furtado sang.
Quick interjection. Nathan sang a song here. He didn't want it in the podcast. That's why there's this blank space. And Nelly sings, "It's getting hot in here."
Yeah, do you know Nelly Furtado? Like, do you know that?
Well, apparently,
song?
I don't know who Nelly Furtado is.
Do you know
I
that song
Nelly
that I
was.
just sang, though?
No, I do not.
Look it up later and don't put that I sang that in the podcast.
Okay. It's got tons of people in it.
Yeah,
Sto-
Terry Crews.
Stone Cold Steve Austin plays one of the prison guards.
I love how
Great
Terry
Khali
Crews is in it.
is in
Terry
this.
Crews smuggles in McDonald's, and he's always like,
Yeah.
"You need some cheeseburgers? I got some cheeseburgers."
Great Khali, the wrestler's in this. I think he has a really funny scene where it actually, I remember seeing this in theaters and it made me laugh a lot. It's part where Adam Sandler and Chris Rock are talking in their stall late at night, and the other character in a different cell, yells something over to them, and Adam Sandler replies to him, and he goes, "All right, it's getting late. Turn off your light and put your coloring books away." And the other guy goes, "Oh, okay."
Oh, Bill Goldberg's in it too.
Oh, okay, yeah, Bill Goldberg, he's also in it.
Yeah, and Tracy Morgan, he plays Miss Tucker, one of the
Yep, Tracy Morgan.
the what do you call cheerleaders.
Stone Cold has said that in the filming of this movie, they refused to give him a stunt double, so he had to do all his own stunts and take all his own bumps.
Nice. He played a fullback in that movie.
Oh, okay. I like this movie a lot.
Me too.
I
I
really
like-
like the outfits they get at the end of the game for their big game. Like, they look so cool. I believe they're called the Mean Machines.
Yeah, I like football movies in general.
I also really like football movies.
Not a lot. Like, I can't think of a lot of quotes. Like the fact about the cheeseburger and everything with Terry Crews, hilarious. Oh, who plays? Oh, my favorite part is one of my favorite parts. Let me look up who it is. You know the part where he's super exhausted and he falls down and he's like, "Hey, you don't just leave me here." And I think he asks for a Snickers or something. Like,
I
he
do
asks for
remember that.
food or something. A cool fact about this: the rap group D12. They were some of the background convicts.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. This movie is one of two movies this decade that Courtney Cox was in.
Oh. Oh, yeah, she's his wife at the start, isn't she?
You
his
said
girlfriend.
Yeah, but yeah, that's her.
Oh, what's the other one?
She's actually uncredited. The other one is a movie we're going to talk about soon.
Oh, okay. What do you give The Longest Yard as a rating?
I give it 5 stars.
I also give it 5 stars. I really like this movie. It's one of my
Yes.
favorite Adam Sandler movies.
All right, up next, 2005, Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. Gigolo.
Yeah, this one was directed by Mike Bigelow, which is weird because it's Deuce Bigelow directed by Mike Bigelow, but the A in Bigelow is changed to an E in Mike Bigelow's name. This one was made on a budget of $22 million, grossed 45.1, has a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 33% audience score. This is not a very good movie. I still get some enjoyment out of it, but it's not as good as the first Deuce Bigelow, and the first one's not even that great.
I don't think I've seen it. If so, I was so young I just didn't care. I still think this one and probably the first one could probably just be
Yeah, they're kind of eh.
So what's his role in this one?
He doesn't even barely have a role. He plays a character that dies in the movie, and at the end of the movie, they show his picture up on a memoriam, and it says, like, Javier Sandusky, whatever year to 2005.
So it's a picture in the movie, or he's in it earlier?
Yeah, it's just mainly the picture that shows him. Like, there's a character earlier in the movie that dies, and then when they talk about it later, they show the picture and it's Adam Sandler.
But besides the picture, is he physically in the movie at all?
I don't think so.
I personally, this is fine, this is credited to him, but I personally don't think that should count as a cameo.
I also agree with that statement. That's
I mean,
why I gave this a 1-star cameo.
Yeah, I'm going to, even I haven't seen it, just for that fact alone, agree with you on the 1 star. I know during the Stan Lee episode, there was some times where he was just a picture or something, but the Stan Lee cameo is a whole different type of cameo. That totally counts. It's a recognition cameo, and that's fine.
Exactly.
But this counts as a credit of a role he's done? No, it's a picture. Come on.
I know.
Well, then I think that's it for that movie.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
Yeah, let's get that out of here. I swear, if there's going to be a third Deuce Bigalow, I will go watch it because I think old Rob Schneider is funny.
Could you imagine if they made a third Deuce Bigalow?
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking the other day, I was just thinking about like random super reboots like Wayne's World 3, which they were talking about the director about it and stuff. And whoever the person was, they were saying that like I get sent scripts all the time and I just tell them like, take it up with Paramount. That's their shit. Like, no matter how much I wanted to, if Paramount said no, I can't do it. Like, and so I doubt it'll ever happen. But
if
I
they
would like
did
it.
a Wayne's World 3, I would love for them to just the characters be the exact same. Like, nothing's changed.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
I would want it where like they were long lost friends for a bit. I would want like Garth to have moved away or something. And like Mike still lives at his mom's house. Like his mom's dead, but he lives in the basement still. And but like the camera crew and everything, like the camera and the set is just like covered with drapes and all dusty. And like it's about like re-getting the show going. He's like, yeah, this stuff's over there, whatever. And Garth's like, wow, man, well, let's do it. And he's like, all right, it would be I could do it. It'd be great.
All right, moving on from Deuce Bigalow.
Moving on to 2006, Click.
Click was directed by Frank Karachi, who also did The Wedding Singer. This was made on a budget of $82.5 million, and it grossed $240.7 million. This was his highest grossing movie of the decade, and it has a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 66% audience score.
I feel like I've seen this one, but I don't remember it, so I'm going to say I didn't. Yeah, I know, like, he pauses, he rewinds, fast forwards, just things like that. I did YouTube a video today. I should have YouTubed a different scene because I feel like this scene as the first scene was a terrible scene to see. It was when he was slapping his boss and farted on him or shit on his sandwich or something. I don't know what he did.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't watching for that part. Because I like put it on my phone and then I like did something else quick because I was at work. But he goes, "Did you put shit in my lunch?" He like yells at his secretary. But it was like the worst like toilet humor to like I said, worst scene to like if that's the scene to show somebody, they're not gonna want to watch the movie.
I don't like Click as a whole. There's some stuff I like in it. Like I like the concept of it. And that's the thing. A lot of Adam Sandler movies have a really good concept, but then they don't always live up to it. Christopher Walken in this movie is really good. And there is a funny bit where he fast forwards sex with his wife one time, and then the rest of his life it fast forwards automatically, so he never gets to have sex again. That's kind of a funny idea. There's stuff in this that I think is funny, but it just isn't played out as well as I hoped it'd be.
Yeah, I know there's one scene where he fast forwards one essentially timeline, because if he does one thing and then fast forwards, something happens, right?
Yeah.
Then he can rewind, not do it, fast forward, and something else would have happened, type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like different timelines. So one time he fast forwards and he's like, he got really fat. And he's like, "What are these?" And he's like, "Titties, I got titties." And he just keeps saying titties. And I'm just like, whoa. And then he gets back and his daughter's grown up and he's like, "When did you get boobs?" She goes, "Same time you did, Dad." I remember the Bed Bath & Beyond door. I vaguely remember it.
Yeah. Where he's not supposed to go in the door or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't he at a Bed Bath & Beyond and there's a door that says Beyond? And he's like, huh.
Yeah, because that's where Christopher Walken works.
Sean Astin's also in this movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he was in 50 First Dates.
And Henry Winkler.
Oh.
He was in Little Nicky.
Yes, that's true. I don't have a lot to say about Click, so.
Yeah, me either.
I gave it 2 stars.
I give it 0 because I'm counting that I haven't seen it.
Wow. Taking the coward's way out.
Fine, 1 star. Up next, in 2007, Reign Over Me.
Yes, this one was directed by Mike Binder. It was on a budget of $20 million. It grossed $22.2 million, so probably didn't make its money back. And it says a 64% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 81% audience score. And this is one of my all-time favorite Adam Sandler movies of all time. Favorite.
Yeah, I actually just watched it for the podcast.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
What did you think of it?
I thought overall, good movie. There was a few parts, and this is just me being super nitpicky. Like, you might agree or see what I'm saying, but you might just disagree across the board. The flow in the beginning, at least, was a little interesting. Like how they like did this shot, then this shot, then this shot. Like, kind of didn't. Not like the story didn't make sense, but it's like the filming style was a little interesting.
Yeah, where
Not that I didn't like it, but it was interesting. The flow.
it gives me the sense of it's just like two guys in the town, like they're just like running into each other and stuff, and I don't know, it feels loosey goosey to me.
Yeah. One thing I noticed that this was weird, and they did some weird blurs. Like there was a scene where Don Cheadle's sitting at the table talking to his wife, and the old focus change where like he's now blurry and she's not. So like he would say something, and then he'd focus on her while she's talking, and then it stayed focused on her while it was super blurry on him. And the conversation finished, where he was talking, she'd talk, he'd talk, she'd talk, while he's blurred out, and then it would come back to him, and then it's like it was just like it shouldn't have been so blurry on him. It was a really weird thing, in my personal opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and there was other weird blurs. Yeah, I don't even know if you remember that scene because it's not.
Yeah, I remember the scene, but I guess I just don't remember the blurs.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure you remember the scene, but I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah, so next time you watch it, notice that and see if you also think it's a little weird. Because I wrote down on my notes weird blurs because I think it happened a few other times where it was just little blurs were weird.
Oh, okay. Something about this movie, I really like it. It's like one of Adam Sandler's most dramatic performances. It's very sad too, because like the whole movie's about his family who died in 9/11, and so he just kind of lives alone and has no furniture and prone to mood swings and stuff. It's a very good movie.
Yeah,
and he used to sleep in the nude.
Yeah, the scene where he goes to commit suicide. That's a crazy scene.
Yeah,
where he rifles through the boxes and finds a gun, and then no bullets. So he's like, thought process. He didn't say this. He's like, okay, I'll just go make the cops shoot me. So he aims an empty gun at somebody, a taxi driver, then hoping the cops take him out and they just tackle him and put him in a facility. It's like, dang.
Yeah, it's a powerful movie.
It was.
This is the type of movie where Adam Sandler gets to show that he's a very, very talented actor.
Yeah, I feel like he does that
every few years.
Every couple movies. Yeah, I was gonna say like Punch Drunk Love, and then Spanglish, and then this one,
and Funny People,
which we're coming up with soon, and then we'll have to talk about the next decade, next Adam Sandler episode. But anyways, yes, I really liked. They went to a Mel Brooks movie marathon, and it was cool because I love Mel Brooks, and like they literally showed little scenes from each movie, so that was
fun. One of them is Young Frankenstein, one of them is Blazing Saddles.
Yep.
I believe the 12 Chairs is maybe one of them. I can't remember.
It's possible. I don't remember.
Yes, I also like Mel Brooks. Well, some of his stuff. Not a big fan of Blazing Saddles, to be honest.
Because it's racist?
I just don't find it very funny.
I think as a whole, I agree. But there's definitely parts in it that I love. Like in Blazing Saddles, yes, we're talking about Adam Sandler today, but I really liked when the sheriff took himself hostage.
Yes, that is pretty good.
It's just so clever. He's like, don't make me shoot him. And he's, somebody save that man. He's just like holding a gun to himself. It's so funny.
So about Reign Over Me, what were your favorite moments? Because there's a lot I like in this where I like all the character moments between Charlie and Don Cheadle, and especially when they're playing video games and just hanging out. And the soundtrack to this movie is really good. There's a ton of The Who in it. But yeah, it's just album after album of just really cool music and stuff. And it's got some really neat ideas in this movie.
I thought it was good overall. Part of that weird flow in the beginning, I thought the running into Charlie almost seemed forced. Like you see Charlie for the first time coming out with some paint, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, it was Charlie," and like freaked out on him. And then it was just to say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, I've been meaning to check on you." It's like it wasn't bad, but yeah,
Yeah. A little weird, but
I thought Charlie's Place, even though it's like he's sad, lives alone, and all that, I think it was cool with the huge record collection. He played games nonstop on a projector. He had a music room and he rocked out in. Yeah, when he takes them to this little dive bar without telling why they're going there, then all of a sudden he's a drummer in a metal band, and he was just like, "What?"
yeah.
And he gets a root beer because he doesn't drink, because he can't drink, because that's when he went to commit suicide, because he drank. But yeah, he's just a cool, quirky dude. Like, obviously,
He's a quirky dude with a lot of sadness in
yeah,
it.
I know there's a lot of sad, and that probably is what makes him quirky. I assume he was somewhat of a quote unquote normal dude before the sadness, but
Yeah. It's a great movie. I really
yeah,
like this one.
it's pretty good.
And it gets its title from a song by The Who.
Yes, he listens to that often because part of his
Therapy. Court mandated therapy.
is it mandated?
I'm pretty sure it's mandated.
I thought he just wears headphones just because like it helps him, soothes him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, because one of his soothing mechanisms, whether it's mandated or not, is he wears headphones nonstop, and he always plays different songs, and he plays "Rain Over Me" a lot. And
Yep.
there's a powerful scene at the end when BJ Novak, he's a lawyer, and it's like he's trying to push his buttons too much, like trying to bring back memories. And it was actually really sad and rude of him. I hated that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, but didn't like it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And he starts, instead of just listening, he's like singing along, yelling, like freaking out. And it was really, really, really powerful. I believe this is only one of only 2 films that were Madison 23 productions.
Oh yeah, what was Madison 23 again? It was his
It was this and Funny People. It's
yeah, it was
a
his
subsidiary-
dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which-
it was supposed to be Happy Madison dramatic performances, but it was only the 2 that they did.
Yeah,
I
it was
believe.
aimed at the drama genre, and then I'm on Wikipedia. There was also supposed to be, oh no, there is, but it only produced 1 short film. It's called Scary Madison Productions. It was supposed to be the horror genre, and he released The Shortcut.
Huh.
Which have you seen?
I have not seen The Shortcut.
Neither right. It's got Dave Franco in it.
Huh.
And Adam Sandler. We should watch that.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Huh.
That's a short film?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page now. The picture looks crazy. It's like
The thing with short films I don't understand is how do you watch them? Where do you watch them?
well, what the hell? This is considered a short film? Oh wait. He's not in it.
Who, Sandler?
Correct. He's not acting in it, but yeah, he is Scott Sandler, Adam Sandler's family member, or is that a different Sandler altogether?
I believe it's his brother.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, his brother co-wrote it. Scary Madison, which is a Happy Madison Productions subsidiary, did produce it. So Adam Sandler has a play in it, but he's not in the movie at all. So I guess
okay.
whatever. But yeah, that's starring Dave Franco, and it's not a short film. It's called The Shortcut.
Okay. I thought it was a short film. It's weird that they had the subsidiaries because they didn't do anything with them.
Yeah, it's like they had great ideas, like, oh, let's make these like little wings, and then didn't fly.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more to say about Rain Over Me?
I do not. So, what's your final rating on this one? I give it 5 stars. I think this is a great movie.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if there was fractions, I'd do like 4.5, almost 5. But yeah, 4 because we don't do fractions here. So like a soft 4, not a hard 4. Closer to 5, but 4.
Gotcha. I just think this is a phenomenal movie. It's one of my favorite performances from Adam Sandler ever.
Nice. All right, up next, same year, 2007. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
This one was directed by Dennis Dugan on a budget of $85 million, and it grossed $187.1 million. It has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 69% audience score, which is the biggest gap in any of these movies.
I've not seen this one at least much. I think I've seen bits and pieces in a hotel room once. This is one of his biggest Kevin James partners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, besides Grown Ups later on.
Yep. Yeah, it's I think they're 1 starring roles together. And this movie sucks. I rented this for $2.99. I think I told you that. And
yeah,
it's really bad because I knew it was kind of bad and I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. So I was like, I want to see how that is. and it's really bad. It's not great. And as much as it tries to be like, it tries to teeter on the edge of like offensive comedy, but also like, no, we actually do support gays and we're cool with it. It is just a hard watch to get through.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why, whether it's supposed to be homophobic or not, like, what's the point of two guys pretending to be gay for a movie? Like,
Yeah.
I don't see the point of this movie needing to be made.
Yeah, it's not great. David Spade has a cameo in this where he dresses in drag, and Nick Swardson, he actually honestly probably has the funniest part in this movie. But again, it's maybe the funniest thing in the movie, but it still just feels really offensive and stereotypical. And I don't know, it's a hard watch. And they also dropped the F-bomb in this movie like 10 times. It's pretty crazy. Everybody from Adam Sandler to Dan Aykroyd to Kevin James, they all say the word. It's wild.
No, not that F-bomb.
Yeah.
The longer F-bomb.
Yep.
The one that we're not saying. You know,
exactly.
That fucking F-bomb.
Yeah. So yeah, right off the bat, I give this one star. I would not recommend it to anyone, especially in this time period. I can't even believe that was made in 2007.
Little warning for Reign Over Me though. They use that same F-bomb like 10 times in a scene there too.
And they do say that in that movie. Yeah.
Different context. Doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Just a warning in case you're like, oh, you keep talking this movie up and then you're watching, you're just like, whoa.
I mean, they say it in Bill and Ted. The first two Bill and Teds are way more homophobic than you remember them. I mean, we're just talking about it.
Yeah, I don't remember them anyways. John Farley is the voice of a criminal in this movie. I'd just like to mention little Farley cameos.
Oh, and Chuck and Larry?
Yeah.
Oh. This is also technically 2 movies in a row that he played a character named Charles, because he's Dr. Charles Charlie Feynman in Reign Over Me, and then in this he's Charles Chuck Levine.
Yeah, they both have the scene with the F-bomb 100 times, so that's interesting. Yeah. Chuck likes to say that word, huh?
I guess so.
So what do you rate this one?
I give it 1 star.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 0.
Yeah.
Since like I said, couple scenes maybe.
It's also the first Adam Sandler movie to have almost a scene of incest in it, because he almost gets 2 twin sisters to make out. It's weird.
Well, is making out incest though?
I think so. I don't know.
Do you really think that's weird?
I guess.
I'm not saying it isn't.
I don't know.
I think if they're into it. All right, up next, 2008. You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Again, directed by Dennis Dugan on a budget of $90 million. This one grossed $204.3 million, 37% Rotten Tomato score, and a 45% audience score. I watched this for the first time in preparation for this podcast, and I thought it was quite enjoyable, actually, if not really, really fucking stupid.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it from about the era of 2008, and I remember being very stupid.
Yeah.
Like, pretty funny stupid, but still not all that great. I don't have much to say about it. Do you?
Not a whole lot. I think the premise of the movie is pretty fun. He plays a secret agent who is like a superhuman, basically. Like, he can kick you with 3 feet, or he can kick you with both his feet at the same time, but it's like, how's he standing still? He can swim like a dolphin. He can punch through brick walls and can get shot by a machine gun and catch every single bullet in his hand.
Yeah, and he's a super barber the whole time.
Yeah, and then he wants to give all that up to become a hairstylist. And he moves to the United States and changes his name to Scrappy Coco, which is a really dumb name. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Scrappy Coco is a weird name, but it's on par with some of Adam Sandler's characters' names.
I guess, but just as a fake name, it doesn't work, because no one would go, oh, this is Scrappy Coco. Oh, okay.
Right.
Nick Swardson is in this movie, and oh my God, is he great. So he plays the character that Zohan moves in with, and he's this really shy weirdo who lives with his mom, and Zohan ends up banging his mom like 100 times, and it's very funny. I did like this movie. It's very stupid, and the plot doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it's not super interesting, but oh boy, there's some funny moments. Overall, I think I'd give this one 2 stars.
I think so, from what I remember. Again, I don't remember a lot, but I'll stick with 2 stars as well. John Turturro's also in that movie.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. He's the one that kills Zohan.
Spoiler. All right, next up, same year, 2008. Bedtime Stories.
Yeah,
Don't you have a funny story about this movie?
I do kind of have a funny story about this one. So this is Adam Sandler's first ever movie with Disney, and as of 2022, it's his only movie with Disney. It was directed by Adam Shankman on a budget of $80 million, and it grossed 212.9 million, has a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 55% audience score. And I was watching this one last night and fell asleep during it, which I just think is kind of funny because it's called Bedtime Stories, and I fell asleep watching it.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah. I thought it was okay. As like the first Disney Adam Sandler movie where it's like especially made for kids, it's fine. But as an Adam Sandler movie, I didn't love it. He didn't get to go like, I guess, full Adam Sandler, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
I don't know, just some of the stories in it weren't great. And I don't know, the whole plot is kind of dumb because it's just he's like his niece and nephew, their school's gonna get torn down for some reason
To become the spot for the
to
hotel.
become a hotel. But why would they take a school away from kids? Like, what town's just gonna be like, oh yeah, those kids, fuck them, take away their school?
No,
No.
it would happen depending on zoning and how many different school areas there are, and like move a few to this school, move a few to that school, get rid of the one in the middle.
Maybe, I guess.
I'm not
Just
sticking up for
seemed
it. Yeah, I
it
agree.
seemed goofy.
Yeah.
Seemed like a weird concept for a movie. But I mean, I love a good save the rec center situation in a movie, but I just thought this one was dumb. Though I will say at the end, this is jumping way ahead, but at the end when he rides in on that motorcycle, pretty fucking badass if you ask me.
Yeah. See, this movie, it was like a. So I'm going to give a quick synopsis to help zero in on the point I'm going to make. So there's like two stories going on basically, where he's living his normal life, babysitting his kids while his sister goes away for a minute, and we're trying to deal with some stuff with his job and whatnot, trying to maybe find a love interest. But intermingled with all that, every night he tells some bedtime stories, if you can imagine. And every
I don't
story,
need to imagine it because I watched the movie.
yeah, but every story he like gives a good story that he makes up about himself, trying to like about life. He's just like, yeah, this guy's got a crappy job, and then he tries to put a good spin on it, and then the nephew says some crazy thing that actually happens. It's a crazy thing. I liked the stories that he told along with what happened from the stories more than the like flow of the movie. Like you said, with the school's gonna get torn down, and then the this and the that's, like the kids can't eat garbage food, and they're practically like eat rabbit food. Not really, but actually that's a funny scene when he shows up with like Cinnabon, and they're like, food, and just grab it. And he's like, whoa, those are mine. But the little things, like there was a part where he was like, oh yeah, Ferrari. This character in the story gets a free Ferrari. Like he speeds along in the story, like hoping like, oh, this is gonna be true. And he's like, okay, cool, go to bed. And he goes out and like boom, there's a Ferrari. But like Rob Schneider's role in this, it's super fun. I think they make him have a super huge nose in that role, Rob Schneider's, because he plays a Native American where he's selling horses as if it was a car lot, and there's a red horse named Ferrari. And then later in
Yes.
real life, there he is as a passerby outside of a Ferrari dealership, and he
Steals
steals his
Adam
wallet.
Sandler's wallet. Yep.
Yeah, and he runs off. It's so funny.
Yeah, so you mentioned you really like the bedtime stories in this movie. I thought that was also the most enjoyable thing in the movie. I didn't like the plot. I didn't like the real life stuff of Adam Sandler with like Guy Pearce and the other guy at the hotel and all that, which totally off topic, but I think Guy Pearce is kind of wasted in this movie. I do not like him in this. And I know the point is that you're not supposed to like his character. He plays Kendall, but I didn't like him in this. I thought he gave a bad performance. Yeah, I think the bedtime stories were the most interesting part, but they just weren't as exciting for me. And once you figure out, like, okay, so the kid tells the story and it becomes true, you go, oh, okay, well, I kind of can figure out how these bedtime stories are going to go from here on out because
Right.
Adam Sandler's trying to coerce them into saying good things about himself. Really quick, I just want to mention that Adam Sandler has the best character name in this movie of any movie he's in, Skeeter Bronson. It's great.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I thought this was just a whatever movie. It's cool that it exists, and I'm glad it does because it's like I mentioned, Adam Sandler's only Disney movie. But as
I'm
a
gonna
whole,
pause you. I'm gonna
it
pause you
doesn't.
right there.
Yeah,
There's a fun fact about that actually,
that it's his
and
only Disney.
it's a super stretch, and no one else in their right mind would agree with me.
Okay.
maybe one or two people. But in my hardest of hearts, he's in another Disney movie. And that is Rob Schneider's The Hot Chick, because it was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures, which is Walt Disney Studios motion pictures.
Yes,
So-
because Buena Vista
so
was originally created
technically-
so that Disney could release R-rated movies.
Yeah, so technically, on the most technicality possible, Hot Chick is a
It's a
Disney
Disney
movie.
movie. You know what? I'll give you that.
People won't agree. Like, I personally, I hate how people say, like, oh, Princess Leia is a Disney princess now. And it's like, no, she's not. Like, I disagree with that. I think overall it's a pretty good movie. I give it 3 stars. I liked Russell Brand in this. I forgot. to
I
mention.
also liked Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand in everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I would give this 2 stars. I think it's just kind of whatever.
Sure.
And like I like things about it, but overall I don't. And like I said, Guy Pearce, who's supposed to be the main bad guy, I just don't like his performance.
All right. Next up, the last on the list.
Yep.
And then you'll have to wait till 2000.
And 10.
2009. Funny People.
This one was directed by Judd Apatow on a budget of $75 million, and it grossed only $71.6 million. And I attribute that to 2 things, which we'll get into in just a second. This one has a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 48% audience score, which is also a pretty significant gap. I think the reason this one bombed is a combination of 2 factors. One being that this should have made money because it's Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen's first ever movie together. And those two, I mean, the 2 biggest names in comedy at the point, right?
Right.
Here's the 2 factors I think that killed this movie. Is one, Judd Apatow had just come off of 2 very successful, high-grossing movies. And I think he was starting to go into a slump with his writing style, which is why, which leads into the second fact of this is a very long movie. It is 146 minutes, so that's 2 hours and 26 minutes. It's very long for a comedy, and it's also very sad. I saw it in theaters when it came out, and just was like, wow, this is not what I expected at all from this movie. So I think those are the 2 reasons that this movie wasn't as successful as it should have been.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
It is pretty good, but it's so long. And it's like 3 different movies in one. It really is. It's weird.
Yeah, that does seem like a very long movie for what it is.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick synopsis. So basically, Adam Sandler plays George Simmons, who is, he used to be a stand-up comedian, and then he turned into a successful comedian actor who does really dumb, stupid comedy movies. Like one's about him, then he turns into a dolphin, and he falls in love with some hot girl. One is like he rides a jet ski or something like that. It's like called the jet ski guy. But it's basically like a parallel to what Adam Sandler is in real life. His career started to stall, and he hasn't been doing stand-up. And then he meets Seth Rogen's character, and he's like, well, first he goes to the doctor and finds out he has cancer, and he's probably going to die. And so he meets Seth Rogen's character, and he's like, hey, could you I hire you and you write jokes for me. I want to get back into stand-up, because he thinks he's going to die, and so he wants to go out on a career high. And so he does that, and his career starts getting back, and he's doing pretty good or whatnot. He meets Leslie Mann, who is his old high school girlfriend, who he dumped, or she broke up with him when he got famous or something. And he meets her. She's married to Eric Bana, and they basically, the movie then just kind of takes a turn to where it's not even about his career anymore, and it's just he's trying to get laid by Leslie Mann, and he kicks Seth Rogen out, and yeah, it's a weird movie.
Interesting.
It's also got Jonah Hill and like Jason Schwartzman and Aubrey Plaza, and the cast is phenomenal. Like it's got just an all-star amazing cast. But,
yeah, a lot of funny people.
Yeah.
This is Seth Rogen's second cancer movie in 2 years.
It's true. Yeah, 50-50.
It's interesting.
50-50 was really good.
Never seen it.
It's very good. It's also kind of sad. That's a sad comedy done right. This is kind of a sad comedy that's kind of meandering. I like Funny People. I really do. I've seen it maybe 7 times my whole life, and I've enjoyed it every time. But I'll be the first to admit it's very meandering and it's very long. Like there's a lot of parts that drag, and when you're watching it, you can go, "Well, you could have cut this out." It's like Jonah Hill is roommates with Seth Rogen, and they're both like comedians at a low level who are struggling to make it. And then Jonah Hill's character starts taking off, and he starts making money, so he ends up moving out. But he has this one really funny joke where he's on stand-up, or he's on stage doing stand up, and he's like talking about how he was in a long distance relationship with his girlfriend, and so how they would have sex is they would talk over Skype, and they would video chat, and then like both of them would masturbate, and then like that's how they would do it. And he's talking about that, and he goes, "Did you ever know that on Skype you could click on your video and make your video the big one and the person you're talking to the small one?" He goes, "So I did that one time, and it's like, I don't know if you've ever done this, but don't look into your own eyes as you masturbate. It'll change your soul." And I thought that was such a funny scene in that movie.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more to say about this one?
I do not. We can end this one.
Sure. All right. Since I've not seen it, you can guess it. 0 stars.
I give this one 3 stars. I think it's just fine.
Cool.
It's got some really good performances in it, specifically from Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen. And I think Eric Bana is fantastic in this movie. And what's really neat about this movie is that Eric Bana gets to use his original Australian voice. So that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's one of the first times in an American film that he uses his normal voice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that it?
Yes, I believe so.
Very cool. We did it. I like that. That was fun.
Actually, guys, I know I just told him that we can move on, but I have thought of one more thing to say about funny people, and it's that I really don't think that Aubrey Plaza's character is very good in the movie, and she's actually my favorite actress ever of all time, and I don't like her in this movie, so I guess that's my last note, but don't tell him, okay? Yeah, I thought this was very fun. This was a good one.
Yeah.
I always have fun watching Adam Sandler movies because he's one of my favorite actors.
Agreed.
Because he does that brand of dumb comedy that I like so well.
Yes. Well, and the fact that he does all across the board, like, yes, more serious, not as often, but like, I'm down for them all. So, like, if I see a super silly movie of his is coming out, I'm like, awesome. If I see a super serious one's coming out, I'm like, awesome. I'm like,
there's never been a Sandler movie released that I've ever looked at and went, I don't want to see that.
Right. Well, are you ready?
For what?
Wheel of
Versus.
This is the part of the podcast where we take some characters from the movies we just went over and make them battle to the death. We put the names on a wheel, spin it, elimination style, one at a time. Best out of 5 wins. Yeah, let's get right into it. Everyone loves this part, including me.
And me.
Who do you have on your list?
I have Barry Egan from Punch Drunk Love, Davy Stone from 8 Crazy Nights, Paul Crewe from The Longest Yard, Zohan Devere from You Don't Mess with the Zohan, and Little Nicky from Little Nicky.
All right. I have Henry Roth from 50 First Dates, Michael Newman from Click, Longfellow Deeds from Mr. Deed, Dave Busnick from Anger Management, and Chuck Levine from I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Which you said you chose because he's a fireman.
Yes.
Are you one of those people that have like a sexy fireman calendar hanging in your cubicle at work?
No.
No.
No, do you?
I wish if I knew where to get one. Or if my town had sexy firemen, I guess. They're all like guys in their 50s. Jesus Christ, could you hear that?
Very loud.
So loud. All right, mute site. Jesus Christ. I got Zohan Devere.
I have Dave Busnick.
Oh, okay. From Anger Management?
Yeah. So when you talked about the movie, I kind of forgot that he was like super crazy psycho special agent.
Yeah, he's basically superhuman.
Yeah, I literally just thought he was like a hairdresser with flip-flops that could kick.
Okay.
Yeah. Ultimately, you're going to win, but let's battle this out real quick because I've heard from a certain listener that we dragged this on too long.
Okay, yeah, so Anger Management.
I'm coming up at you all pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, get out of my way.
Because in Anger Management, Dave gets upset because Jack Nicholson steals his girlfriend. Zohan, in this movie, will sleep with anybody. So he definitely would take Dave's girlfriend.
Okay, Sue's loving my girlfriend. I come up all pissed off. And what happens?
I feel like Zohan would kick the shit out of you.
You just beat. Yeah. Okay. All right,
There's a
you
part
got
in
one.
Zohan where he's kicking some dude in the face, and he uses both feet and kicks him at the same time, but he's just still standing there. It's wild. And then he kicks him with a third foot.
Oh, my next one is Henry Roth from 51st Dates.
All right, I got Barry Egan from Punch Drunk Love. In Punch Drunk Love, he is an angry guy, but he also has social anxiety, and he doesn't really get into a fight or anything, even despite the movie being called Punch Drunk Love. He does punch a guy though. Punches one person in the movie.
Well, I think Henry in 51st Dates, he proves he'd do anything for love, sort of. So I feel like if he's willing to do anything, he might rough you up quite a bit, like till you're dead.
What is I'm having a hard time remembering 51st Dates. Does he fight anybody in that? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but he has a vehicle, I think.
He has a boat.
Yes, he does have a boat.
Could he use the boat against me on a football field or a playground or wherever these are fought on? Well, you said he has a vehicle and a
believe-
boat.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
could you kidnap me in your vehicle, drive to the ocean, use your boat, and then throw me in the ocean and drown me?
Yes,
All
using
right.
cinder blocks.
We're
Yes.
tied 1-1.
Perfect.
Like
You just like told me how I was gonna win. You're like, it was almost like a spank me.
well, I like creating the scenario of Henry Roth, who's one of Adam Sandler's nicer characters, just being a total psycho.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a crazy grin on his face.
All right,
Tell her to stop interrupting.
who'd you get?
I got Chuck Levine.
I got Little Nicky.
Okay.
So interesting because you're a firefighter and Little
Yeah.
Nicky lives in hell with fire surrounding him at all times.
Well, here's the thing I forgot. Wait, are the gates of hell frozen over for this? Because if not, I kill you, boom, you come back. I kill you, boom, you come
I
back.
think they'd have to be because
Oh
what
wait,
else is he
it
on
doesn't
Earth?
even. It doesn't matter. I forgot Little Nicky can come back. Gates frozen or not.
It's true.
I didn't think that through. You automatically win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and
Okay, fine. Here,
his powers never.
I'm
damper.
I take my axe to your throat. I win. Oh, you're back. Just kidding. I don't win. I just put the axe to your eye hole. I win. Oh, just kidding. You're back. Okay, you win.
What game are we playing? We're playing I Win.
But how do you kill me?
Well, he does have that power where he can go into your mind and make you punch yourself. So maybe you just make you
Oof.
strangle yourself.
Perfect. I really like Little Nicky when he needs to die, and he's just like, anybody who ever wants to kill anyone, and his roommate's like drowning in underwater. He's like,
He's like
screaming,
screaming.
crying. I think he's yelling about his mom. All right, so now you're up 2-1.
Yes, I feel good about these next two.
Good for you. All right, my next one, Longfellow Deeds. Who do you have?
I got Davy Stone. So now this is interesting because both these movies have fight scenes. Davy Stone, he's a rough and tumbly drunk who will fight and tussle with anybody. And Mr. Deeds, he of course one has his dead foot and can kick through ice or whatever he does in that. But also there's that part where he thinks Winona Ryder's getting mugged and he just beats the shit out of that guy in the street. I mean, just wails on him. You know the scene I'm talking about, right?
Oh yes,
And they put it's in the newspaper. He's just like going off.
That's the same character as the roommate in Little Nicky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got that crazy blonde hair, and he's like, "I'm never gonna do you a favor again."
This is a toss-up because Davy Stone is animated, but it's not goofy animated like Looney Tunes. It's more in the real world realm.
Yeah, you can't get your head flattened and then popped
exactly.
Right back.
I think you might take this one.
I think both of them are pretty like the same character.
If we were ever gonna have a tie, this would be it.
Yeah, but I think Longfellow could do it.
I think so too. Just that scene where he's just like really breaks that guy's teeth and face. And
all right, so we're tied. Who's left on your list?
We got Paul Crewe.
I have Michael Newman
from Click.
Correct. So okay. I have this magical remote.
That's true.
So you can be charging me, swinging for a punch, whatever. I pause, I dodge. I wonder if it's paused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can pause, and then I can take my belt off, assuming I have a belt, wrap it around your throat, pull it as tight as possible, get on full-on backpack man on the back of you, and unpause.
It's true.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Well, Paul Crew has a special ability.
I forgot
As
to
we all
say.
know.
I forgot to say I broke your shins while I was paused.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say his special ability is drunk driving, but since you broke his shins, I don't know if he could work the pedals
I don't know if I necessarily
hit the
broke his
clutch.
shins.
So,
Yeah.
are you telling me?
Well, and you're not in a car right now, anyways. Like, I couldn't backpack man you if you're in a car.
That's true. His one item of choice would be a football.
Yeah, what you do, you could throw it at my nuts, but I'm on your
Or
back.
he could throw the football, knock the remote out of your hands. And what are you gonna do?
But
Think
who's
about that.
faster?
That's true.
It's kind of
Well,
it's
Paul's
like-
definitely faster. He's an athlete. Michael
But
Newman
it's-
works at Bed Bath & Beyond or whatever we said.
but it's like chess. I went first.
I know. I'm just saying. You said who's faster? It definitely would be Paul.
Oh yes. So I win.
I'm just realizing how many sports movies Adam Sandler's been in. A few.
Yeah, a few. He should do a baseball movie.
Yeah, because he's not in the Benchwarmers.
Correct. Honestly, I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
I'm not Happy Gilmore about it, but I am happy about it.
I see what you did there. Yeah, I think this is
I'm the champion.
the damn remote. Because Paul would easily have beaten, I think, any other character you had.
Oh, I agree. Every character,
Yeah.
possibly even some of yours, because he's just a tough football bro. Well, he was quarterback, right? So
He's
he's
quarterback
not,
and
he's not
captain of
the-
the Mean Machines.
so he's not the most tough because
I don't know.
Some
'Cause
quarterbacks are.
you remember that movie?
weak-ish.
He takes some hellacious bumps because all the guards are gunning for him, and so he gets just ramsacked in that movie. But he still keeps getting up and continues to play, and even gets injured in the game, I think. So he's a pretty tough guy. But
That is true.
damn remote. It literally would have it like how I said, he'd have to throw the football, knock the remote out of your hands, but could he do that before you hit pause? And even if he throws the football, you have time before it hits you to hit pause, and even the football would be in the air. So it's like it's a real fucking conundrum for me. A fuck conundrum.
I think I win. Sorry.
Yeah. But here so you're the champion of this, so I concede. But here's one for you. Who would win? Click or Little Nicky? I just
What
want
is
to say
the
that was a
what is
long
the-
pause.
What does the power button do?
It kills him. I don't know.
It kills.
It's an auto suicide button. I have no idea. Is there a
I don't
power
know.
button?
I don't know. I assume so.
But because I think about it this way, like say Michael Newman, if that's his real name, he pauses Little Nicky, right? He gives a Little Nicky a little clicky. You know what I mean? And he pauses and he shoots Little Nicky in the head. But when he hits play, would Little Nicky die then because he got shot in the head? But then when he just pop back,
I don't
is Michael
know.
Newman going to sit there and press pause and kill this guy for all eternity?
I don't know.
Exactly. It's a conundrum. Anyways, it's not important because it's not what we got. So yeah, that'll be the question for this episode. Let us know, who do you think would win, Click or Little Nicky?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to give out our email one more time?
I would love to. Our email is ourdadsourbrothers@gmail.com. Hit us up with any questions, comments, or concerns, or any episode ideas, or anything like that. Literally anything. We'll take it all. And I actually got us an email from last episode.
Ooh.
This is from Drew, and they say, you should have made the distinction that Lex in Batman v Superman was Lex Jr., not a recast of Lex Sr. That is all. Well, Drew, to you I have to say, that wasn't even the topic of the episode. All I did was mention it. Because
Yes,
Nathan asked, how is Lex Luthor in that movie? And I said,
we will
very good.
cover that movie later. Awesome. Well, I have some Instagrams. It's in the bio. Check it out if you're interested. You
all
put
of
them in the bio. You put them in the bio. Why would I have to?
Yeah, I put everything in the bio. I'm BatTracyL1 on everything except for TikTok's Bat Love Movies. And go check out my YouTube, Punk Rock Blues, and my other podcast, Brothers in Tights. That's all.
And what's next week?
Next week's episode is going to be the Hangover trilogy.
Does that mean I have to drink all week?
You have to get drunk every single day.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Fun fact about me, I actually don't get hangovers, no matter how much I drink.
All right. Well, not to just blow past you, but yeah. All right. Until next time, I'm Nathan Tracy.
And I'm Bat Tracy. And our dads are brothers.
That they are. That was fun.
This was fun.
Yeah. We should do it again sometime.
What, Adam Sandler Part 2?
No, just chat about movies and such.
Oh, like a podcast?
Yeah, I've heard of those. I think people do that.
We could do one. Maybe like weekly?
Yeah, okay.
We just need a clever name. How about Enter the Funny Sandman?
You're really wrapped up about this Sandman.
Well, that's all.
Well, bye.
All right, bye. Here's a birthday makes me birthday. When it birthdays, I want a birthday.
I don't want that in the podcast.